All right, so this lesson is called Faces or Layer Head, and in this lesson you're going to animate a face going through multiple emotions. You have to pick at least 6, and each one should hold for at least 6 frames. So let's get started here. I'm going to create a new Photoshop project, so I've opened Photoshop. I'm going to click Create New over here. Here's our new document window. This document is going to be 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels. Resolution doesn't matter too much, but I've got mine set for 300. I've got my background content as transparent, and I'm going to click Create. Alright. I'm going to want my timeline down here to be open, although I'm not going to use it just yet. And the idea is that I'm going to draw a face here in this box with shoulders, and over the course of time this face is going to change expressions to at least 6 different emotions, as I said. So now I'll go ahead and create my video timeline. In my timeline panel here, I'm going to click Create Video Timeline. There we go. We want to make sure that we set our frame rate. So right now it says down here 30 frames per second. We want to go over here to these options, and we want to set our timeline frame rate to our standard 12 frames per second. 12 frames per second. Okie dokie, that's good. We've got our timeline shortcut keys enabled here. So next thing we want to do is create some layers. So I'm going to click this little plus button here to create a layer. And this is going to be the head of my character. So that's the head. And now I'll go ahead and select my brush with a black line. Open up my brush sizes. Actually, I'll go up here to my brush sizes. And at this size document, I like a 13 point brush. And now I'm just going to draw a head, and that'll be my head layer. And maybe now I want to add another layer. I'll call this one neck plus shoulders. And that's exactly what it's going to be. So back to my canvas. And I've got a neck and shoulders, and we can add some more details to it later. Alright, so let's see here. I actually want to go ahead and color in this head. Let's see here. So let's go down here. I want to create a layer under the head layer. So I'm going to go to the layer below it and press the plus button, and that puts a layer in between. Double click there. I'm going to call this head color, and we'll make this head nice and pink. If I use my fill tool here and make sure that all layers are checked right up here, I should be able to click and make the head pink. Okay, so I've got my head color and my head. You can see those also show up down here in my timeline, which we'll deal with later. Alright, so let's go ahead and give our character some eyes. So above this head layer here, I'll click this plus, a new layer is created, double click on it, we'll call this eyes. Here's my black brush and my brush tool, and we'll just give it two eyeballs there. Can do another one there, we'll call this one nose. So I want every part of my character's face to be on a different layer so I have full control. Let's see here, what kind of nose do I want? It's got pink, so let's give him kind of a piggy nose here. There we go, and then another layer here. Double click on it, and this one we'll call the mouth. I don't think this character's very happy right now for some reason, so I'm gonna give him a frowny face. And then one more layer on top of that. Come back and give this character some eyebrows. Eyebrows really help to sell a character's emotion. Like we said, he's mad, so we're going to give him some angry eyebrows. And then, let's see, what else does he need? Maybe he needs some ears. So we'll do an ears layer. There we go. And then maybe finally some hair. And give him some hair. Alright, there we go. Now, down here, let's say that we can grab our timeline, our playhead here, go back and forth. Right now, our video is 5 seconds long. And let's say that after 1 second here, our character changes his expression and becomes happy. So let's look at our timeline here. Which parts of this face do we need to change to make this character happy? We don't need to change everything, only, let's see, what's the least we can change and to change this character's emotion? Well, we definitely need to change the mouth. So we'll find the mouth layer here. And this long strip here, this is the layer. I only want this layer to go to there. And so all through here, the mouth is mean and grumpy. Then after here, it disappears because there's nothing left after here. Which makes me think that I should actually change this mouth layer's name to Grumpy Mouth. Because we're going to have other mouth layers for different expressions. So that's called Grumpy Mouth. And now we'll add a new layer above Grumpy Mouth. You can see here it is, layer 2. If I double click, we're going to call this Happy Mouth. We want this Happy Mouth to start right after the Grumpy Mouth ends. And it'll say it lasts till the end of the video, at least for now. So here we go, and then the mouth disappears. We're on this layer, and we want to, now on this Happy Mouth layer, we want to draw a happy mouth. Right now it looks very devious because of the eyebrows. So let's go up to the eyebrows. Let's find them here. They are right above the happy mouth. We want the angry eyebrows to end at the same place as the grumpy mouth. And we want to change the name of these eyebrows to Grumpy Eyebrows. And then we want to add a new layer right on top of there, right here. We don't want it to go too far, so we grab the end of the layer and move it to the where everything else stops. And then this layer 2, we want to call this Happy Eyebrows. And then we want to draw in those eyebrows like that. So now you can see he's mad, and then when it gets to here, boom, he's happy. Now if we want to color in any of this stuff, for instance the eyes, we need to go to the layer, make sure the playhead is somewhere where that layer is active. And what we want to do, we want to go down here to the eyes. I want to make these eyes white. So I'm on my eyes layer. But actually what I want to do is I want to go to the layer right under it, add a new layer. So there's a layer between these two layers. And this is called eyes color. This is going to be the color layer for the eyes. I'm going to have it be white. I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger. And that way I can color in the eyes. And I put it behind the lines of the eyes so that it stays behind it and we don't accidentally color it in. So here's our eye color. Got slid over a little bit. We just need to grab it and put it back right there. And that way our eyes are white throughout. We probably also want to color in those ears. So I'll click on my ears layer. I'm going to use my eyedropper tool to get that same pink. Go to my brush now. And actually, just like before, I want to go to the layer under the ears. Click on add a new layer. Put a layer between the ears and the layer underneath it, which happens to be Happy Eyebrows. Call this ears color. slide the ears color layer so it fits in with everything else. Make sure my brush is still selected, and then I can come over here and color in the ears. Just like that. Now notice that the ear paint is actually on top of the head layer. So I want these ears to be under the head layer. So I need to grab the ears and the ears color and move it under the head like that. That way this line here still shows up. And now I've got like that, and maybe one more thing. I'll just go up to the hair, which now I can already see I want this hair to be under the head layer, so I'm going to drag it way down here under the head. Go to the layer underneath it, click the new layer button, change the name to hair color, and pick a nice color for this character's head. Let's say his hair is a nice orangish red. There we go. Got my brush on, hair color, slide it over a little bit, and off I can color it. And because it's behind that other layer, I can even go, oops, oh, I see. The head lines are in the right place, but the head color actually isn't. So we're gonna have to go back and fix that once I finish coloring this in. And see how if I color past that line, it goes into the head. So I need to find head, let's see, the head color right here, and move that above the hair color. I want it to be right below the head layer. So I'll actually change this one to head ink. There we go. And the last thing is just to color in those shoulders. So where do we put those? Let's find them here. Neck and shoulders, layer underneath it, add a new layer, N plus S for neck and shoulders, paint. All right, and now I'm gonna use my eyedropper tool here. Select this pink. Actually, let's make this like a turtleneck. So let's say this is like a blue turtleneck. There we go. And then we want both of these things actually to be way down at the bottom. So we're going to grab them way down to the bottom here under head, let's see, head ink and color right there. Move this, oops, move just this over. And now I should be able to color it in all I want to. And it doesn't matter if I go under the head because you can't see it. You can even go like this. Maybe even make my brush a little bigger. And there we go. There's our character, and he's got two expressions. So if I use my playhead, there he is, and there he is. If I go to the beginning and press play, he's mad, and then he's happy. And then I would obviously want to keep going and add a few more expressions to my character as he changes to different emotions. Alright, so that's all you need to know in order to make some face animations in Photoshop. Thanks for watching.